Today with me is Ian Checkos, Executive Chairman of ADX. Ian, it's good to see you again.
Likewise, Jan. Good to see you.
So today we are at Anof. Behind us is Anof 3, your discovery well. And as we can see, it's not producing at the moment. How long will it take until we can get the oil and gas out here?
Yeah, we're going to start producing again in about 2 weeks. We've just been shut in because we reached the testing limit. We've now installed a new production facility, which is now licensed to produce long term. So we should start full-scale production here the 1st of April. The good news is the old facility we had was a rental facility. This facility will allow us to produce at higher rates and more consistently, so that means more cash flow.
That's good. And close to us, we can already see the drill holes of Anof 1 and 2. How long will it take until we get some production there as well?
Well, Anof 2, we drilled the original well in November of this year. We didn't find exactly what we wanted. The structure was a little bit different, but there's a lot of good sand there. So we're going to a new location. We'll drill a sidetrack commencing mid-April, and hopefully we should get that producing in May, so we can add the production from Anof 2 to Anof 3. Anof 1 has not been drilled yet. We'll bring a rig back probably in the 4th quarter of this year, and our plan is to be producing from 3 wells at this location through our new facility.
That sounds good. We will have a look at your new facility pretty soon. Yeah. But let's talk about Welchau for a short time. Yesterday we've been to Welchau. You're still drilling there. How's your feeling? What can we expect?
Well, I think, there's a few steps we needed to take. The first step has been fulfilled. We've got we expect a large gas column from gas shows that we've already seen in the well. Looking forward, we have to take logs and pressure measurements and sampling. But by the end of the month, we should have a good idea of what we have there. We do have an environmental limit, so we'll probably come back and test Welchau probably in the month of October when we can do more operations there. So far, things are very, very encouraging. It confirms that we have gas. It also confirms our structural model, so we're very happy with what we've seen so far.
Perfect. That sounds good. And in terms of licensing, will we have some trouble getting a new license for October, or what does it require to really drill there again?
Yeah, we had one license in place, which was from the 1st of October to the 31st of March. And essentially, all the conditions of that same license can be reapplied. So we don't see any issues commencing operations again on the 1st of October.
Okay, perfect. Last question regarding Welchau. We've seen some protests, especially in the internet. It looked like that the whole country is against you, but we've been there yesterday and I think we saw like 2 signs and nobody really was there. Have you had any trouble with protesters, or do you think, the whole country is basically behind you and with you at this point?
Well, I think what's really important is that the reason we got the approval to drill there was because it was seen to be in the public interest. And what was the public interest is finding oil and gas so that Austria is less dependent on Russian gas, has energy security going forward. Now we're seeing gas in the well, it's even more in the favour of our public interest. So the negative of Welchau is for a few months of the year, someone might want to go hiking through the area and see a rig. But as you could see also, we've taken a lot of environmental precautions. It's very quiet. We have very subdued lighting. So we've done everything we needed to do to ensure that we have minimal impact. So what you've seen is, in some of the newspapers, because they want to show something interesting, a small vocal minority, but the majority of the people, certainly most of the people of Mollin and certainly the majority of government all really support what we're doing because it's very, very important for Austria. It's not ADX that's doing this. We're doing this on behalf of the Republic of Austria, and they need gas. They import 90% of their gas, and 76% of that last year came from Russia.
I think, and I can confirm that if you go up there, if you drive up there to the drill rig, you can't really see it until the last moment. So it's not like you're in the middle of a fantastic scenery and you're disturbing the landscape. It's more like it's hidden and you don't really see it and you don't really hear it as well. So it's
well,
good.
I mean, you've got to remember that where we're drilling is actually logging land. So if we went there a couple of times a year, you'd probably see people, logging trees. So it's not like we're drilling in a pristine environment, but we treat it like it is a pristine environment. And we see this as a very good opportunity for us to demonstrate that we can cohabitate with tourism and do things in a very sustainable way.
All right. Thank you. And as we already said, you have a new facility. Let's go over there and talk a little bit about that.
Let's do that.
So, Ian, we're now behind us is your new facility. Please tell us a little bit about that. What does it do?
Yeah, well, basically, we're able to produce oil from our Anof wells. We process that oil to remove mostly gas from the well. That gas will be used to generate electricity, so the pumps can be run. All the facilities here can be run with electricity that's actually generated from the gas from the oil. Right now, we're not producing any water, but it also gives us the ability to separate water from the oil. So once the oil is produced into that facility, it's stored, and then we have a truck loading facility that will allow the oil to be delivered via rail to the Vienna refinery. So this will allow us to go from about 110 barrels a day, which we were able to do with a rental facility. This facility will go up to 3,000 barrels a day. So as we further develop the field, add wells, then we can obviously have a big step up in cash flow.
I was about to say, let's talk about the cash flow real quick. I mean, you said 3,000 barrels a day?
That's what we're able to produce from this facility. What we hope from this location, from the 3 wells that we currently have slots for, we hope that we'll be able to get up to 1,000 barrels a day. Then we have to assess where we go to next, whether we can actually drill more wells from this location, or we actually have new locations that then bring the oil back through this facility. But then ultimately, we can only probably truck about 1,000 barrels a day. Once we go beyond 1,000 barrels a day, then we'll actually have to probably build some pipelines, an oil and gas pipeline, which would then make our operations even stronger, but also simpler.
Okay, got it. So we have the base case scenario, which is 1,000 barrels a day,
Yes.
and the best case scenario would be 3,000.
Yep.
And I think it's easy to do the math. We have an oil price, let's say at $80 a barrel. We have 1,000 barrels a day,
Yep.
times 364 a year. That's quite some money, right?
Yep.
I think you can do the math by yourself. Ian, is there anything else to add in the end? What should investors know about ADX?
Well, obviously, we're working very hard here to get the production up. If we get our production up, we get more cash flow. So we're hoping to build our cash flow position during the course of the year. But this is obviously, you've seen Welchau. We have obviously developing Anof. But later on the year, we'll be drilling more gas prospects. We closed another actually transaction with M&D, a very large European company, who's going to fund further exploration in our other license to the west of here. So we've got about 1,000 square kilometres of exploration licence. We've been focusing on one side. Now we're going to go towards the west, closer to Salzburg, where we have some very exciting gas prospects.
All right. So I think to summarize all of this, we really have like a growth story here in Austria regarding the oil and gas production. Especially gas is something that we really need here in Europe. We all want, as I already said, if we plug in our phone into the charger, we want it to charge, but we therefore need energy. And this is why we have ADX. Ian, thank you very much for your time. We're looking forward for some news flow.
And hopefully, you'll be charging your phone with Austrian gas instead of Russian gas.
Hopefully pretty soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ciao.